right, welcome to Yoga for Everybody. Let's get started with some mindful breathing, lying on our backs with the knees bent, softening through the shoulders. Maybe turn the palms up beside you and allow the hands to rest on the floor close to the body. Or put the hands on your belly. Sometimes it's also helpful to put something under your elbows if your hands are on your belly, maybe a blanket or a pillow under the elbows to support the shoulders and the chest muscles a little bit. Let's take a little bit of extra time to get as comfortable as possible. That way, our attention can be diverted from the body to the breath for the next 3 to 5 minutes. And just a reminder, you can move whenever you want to move. You don't have to be still for this practice to be effective. And you do not have to clear your mind. You can notice your thoughts, shift and move your body as it needs to move. Just give your body any attention that it might be requesting at any moment. Give attention to the thoughts, just notice them coming and going. Give attention to the body when it is uncomfortable. If you suspect there is more peace in another place, go to that place. You can change your mind anytime. Give attention to the breath. Where is it in this moment? There is no right or wrong in the art of awareness, in the practice of observation. Just noticing, does the breath naturally move more down into your belly, or maybe it stays in your chest and around your shoulders? From this place of awareness, let's shape the breath into a belly breath, also known as diaphragmatic breathing. As we inhale, feel the energy of the belly expanding like a balloon in the belly. It expands 360 degrees when we inhale. And as we exhale, the stomach ever so subtly contracts. Inhaling, the belly button pushes up towards the sky or into the hands. You might even notice a little pressure in the low back as the lower back of the lungs begin to expand also. Then exhale, completely passive, no effort on the exhale. Sometimes it helps to visualize the breath like a balloon. So perhaps seeing this small ball of light, this small energy contracted between the belly button and the spine. And as we inhale, that balloon expands, slowly expanding. So giving our body time to open, to stretch, and to receive the breath. Feeling for that element of expansion in the body. And then exhaling, no effort. Pause after the exhale and feel for that element of contraction, that sensation of contraction in the body. You are welcome to pull the belly button in tight, just a little bit, just enough to feel the contraction, or maybe even to activate the core muscles, but you don't have to. The exhale is naturally very passive. Inhaling through the nose as much as possible. There might be a little bit of effort to inhale through the nose if there are any sort of structural differences from left to right nostril, we might notice it requires a little more effort to pull the air in. Even if there's that effort, it is recommended that you still try. And maybe you try every few breaths to breathe in through the nose, and then on most of your breaths, you breathe in through the mouth to make it effortless. Breathing in through the nose serves several purposes for optimal health, filtering the air. Breathing in through the nose brings the air to a temperature matching our body's preference for use. So it makes the oxygen more usable by the body faster. Inhaling through the nose, exhale from the throat, and keep the lips lightly touching. Allow the back of the tongue to rest and the middle part of the tongue to relax also. On your next inhale, begin reaching the arms up towards the sky, taking the arms away from your belly or away from the floor. Elbows might stay bent to protect the shoulders and neck, or straighten the arms out and let the hands go back as far as the body permits. When you exhale, bring the hands down and press them into the ground next to your hips. Let's flow the arms with the breath just a few times more. Inhaling, reaching up and overhead, maybe the knuckles pressing on the floor behind us. Exhale, bringing the hands down and pressing into the floor beside us. Inhale, reaching up, that element of expansion. Feel your body open, reach from the armpits. Exhale, press the palms down into the floor beside you as if your hands or your palms are like little suction cups. You're going to push into the floor, connect. That's that element of contraction. Let's do a couple more of these. Inhale, release that energy from the palms, open up, stretch from the armpits. And then exhale, press the palms down, press them into the floor beside you, connect. Hasta Bandha, hand lock, connecting energetically to the earth. Try one more. Inhale, come up. Breathe through the fingers and the palms, wiggle the fingers, roll out the wrist. And when you're ready, exhale, connect to the earth. Hasta Bandha. From here, let's keep the hands down on the floor beside us. Draw the knees up into your chest and see that the knees are about hips width apart. Let's bring the hands onto the tops of our kneecaps and circle the knees in any direction, any range of motion. Usually, the smaller the range of motion, the safer it is for the body. So you could make this circle really big, or you can spiral it in, maybe practice a little conservative movement. When you're ready, reverse that circle. So we're just rocking along the low back and the sacrum here. Again, if you're noticing any pain or discomfort at all, make the circles just a little smaller. Usually the smaller movement is going to create more comfort in the body. Let's come to any still point. Open the knees to hip width. Lower just the left leg to the floor. Draw the right knee in. Hold on behind that right knee, knee to chest. Point and flex your right foot. Roll out the ankle. When you're ready, release that right leg. Draw the left knee into the chest. Point and flex the foot, holding on behind the knee. Roll out the ankle. When you're ready, lower both feet to the floor, both knees at hips width. Let's press the hands down into the floor again. Inhale, pull the hips away from the floor into bridge. Exhale, slowly lower down. Let's match movement to breath. We might do anywhere from 6 to 8 of these. Inhale to lift and exhale to lower. The next time your hips are down, allow them to rest on the floor. Let the knees sway left and right. Let's loosen up the low back and wring out the middle belly. Let the knees sway over to the right. Lift up your right arm and drape it over your body to the left. Let's reach the left arm out. So knees are twisting to the right, arms are reaching to the left. Looking to the left. Inhale through center with the knees and arms. Knees go to the left, arms go to the right. Looking to the right. Let's do this with our breath. Inhale through center. Exhale, big twist, wringing out the spine. Inhale through center. Exhale, big twist. One more on each side. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist. When this is even on left and right for you, roll over onto the side that's most comfortable for your body. From lying on our side, let's take our top hand so we can press up into all fours for cat and cow flow. Either stacking shoulder, elbow, wrist, or coming onto the fist in a straight line. Thumbs are forward when we're using the fist. Let's separate our toes to the width of our hips. As you inhale, drop the belly and look forward. Exhale, pull the belly up and drop your head. Let's do this movement with the breath, allowing the inhale to initiate the openness of the body into cow, and the exhale initiates the contraction of the belly into cow. Inhaling into cow, exhaling into cat. Let's find all fours position, neutral spine. Extend the left leg straight back with the heel maybe just as high as the hip. You can always bend the knee really deep and that would make the heel a little higher, but we just want to make sure that that low back is comfortable. From here, take the weight into your left hand, reach the right arm forward, spinal balance. Inhale, reaching through the limbs, exhale, lower. Switching sides, taking the right leg back. Maybe the heel only as high as the hip when the leg is straight. Option to bend the knee like a little bit of a donkey kick. Taking the left hand forward, inhale. And then exhale, bring the limbs down. Let's do this with the breath. Imagining you're trying to balance like maybe a crystal vase full of flowers on your back. And the vase is full of water and full of flowers. So as you're trying to balance that on your back, transitioning as smoothly as possible, slowly taking the left leg back and the right arm forward. Exhale, bring the limbs in. Inhaling, switching sides, right leg, left arm. And then exhale. So you can try to keep that rhythm of inhale, exhale, switch. But if your breath is rushing you, if movement matching breath feels like it's rushing you at all, stay for a couple of breaths. That way, your body knows that there's no sense of urgency here. Better to practice patience with the body than to rush through the motion, just trying to match the breath. So as long as we're breathing, we're doing yoga, but you don't have to move with the breath. Let's do one more on each side. Again, absolutely no rush. When it feels right for you, sit the hips back into child's pose. You can touch the toes and open the knees. Sometimes this helps to squeeze through the lymph nodes by the groin. You can also keep the head up and shift forward. This is sometimes known as the puppy dog pose. It's a way to do child's pose without hurting the knees so much. Wherever you are, let the head kind of roll left and right. Let's come to a still point. Come up into all fours. From here, let's take our left hand, lift it up, and then exhale, weave it underneath your right armpit into thread the needle. And we're not going to come all the way down. We're just going to look a little bit over to the right to kind of release that energy in your left shoulder blade behind the heart. Inhale through center, plant the hands. Inhale, lift the right arm, look to the right. And then exhale, look to the left as you begin to rotate. And again, we're not resting the shoulder all the way down. We just want to stay here for a moment to wring out the spine. When you're ready, inhale, bring that right arm up and plant it. Let's try this with the breath. Inhale, open. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, plant the hand. Right hand, inhale, open. Exhale, twist. Inhale, open. Exhale, hands to the floor. One more each side. Inhale, open. Exhale, twist. Inhale, open. Exhale, plant. Last one. Inhale, open the body. Exhale, twist. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, plant the hands, Hasta Bandha. From here, let's press the hips back and walk the hands forward. You can keep the hips away from the heels if that's more comfortable. Let's flow through a kneeling plank, introducing a little more weight bearing and movement to the shoulders. So before we do this, check in with your arms. If you bend your elbows, if they go to the side at all, we want them to rotate back and in. So if they go to the side, that means the muscles under the armpit and rib, they are not engaged. And that means that the shoulders are not protected. So if we bend the elbows, kind of like a traditional push-up, to tell you the truth, traditional push-ups can be so strenuous on the body. So pull the elbows back. We call this a yogi push-up. There's more support around your shoulders, chest, and heart. So make sure those elbows are down. If you were to bend them, they're down towards the ground. Let's shift forward, stacking the joints. Hips stay high, core is strong. Exhale, press back. Let's flow that a few more times. Inhale forward, stacking the joints, and then exhale back. Inhaling through the nose, Exhaling from the throat, the lips stay touching. If you want to add in a small push-up, inhale forward. Either hold it here or come down 1 inch, press up, then push back. Inhaling forward. Either hold it or come down a tiny bit. Pull those elbows into the ribs. Press up, push back. Inhaling forward. Tiny bend. It doesn't have to be a big bend to be effective. The bigger movement is not necessarily the better movement. We just want to feel that the energy is activated. Once you feel it, pause, check in. The amount of work that your body is putting into this cannot be measured by what you see happening in your body. The energy is felt, not seen. Inhaling forward, last one. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale back. From here, let's look between our hands, stepping 1 foot forward at a time. Find your body's happiest place for a forward fold. So it's that time of year where the pollen is flowing. I think that we're close to having a pollination where we walk out and everything's covered in yellow. So if you want to come up a little higher, this is nice to prevent drainage from making pressure build in your head. You could always bring your hands up onto your thighs, and that could help keep the drainage a little more loose in the body. From wherever you are, let those hips sway a little bit left and right, and just notice how it feels in the soles of your feet as we're slowly beginning to introduce more weight bearing into the body. We're also introducing balance, finding and feeling for our center of gravity. So let your feet move around a little bit, wiggle your toes, shift forward and back. When you're ready, slowly come all the way up to standing. Let's find ourselves in mountain pose. Standing with our feet open to about hips width distance. Let's fly the arms for 3 breaths. Inhaling the arms up and overhead, and then exhaling back. Big sweeping circles. Inhale, expansion, open, maybe even look up. Exhale, sweep down and back. Option to look down. Just one more. Let's find mountain pose, stepping our feet either close together with the toes touching or just a little bit apart. Open up your right hand. Sweep just that right arm up and overhead. Push down into the outer blade of your right foot while you reach up with the right fingertips. Imagine you're holding on to 100 helium balloons. To accentuate the stretch, you can bend your right knee. This will drop that right hip, and it will create even more opening along the side of your body. Big inhale. And now exhale, straighten the right leg and lower the arm. Inhale, let's take the left arm up. Press into the outside of the left foot. Reaching as if we're being pulled towards the sky, 100 helium balloons. Big breath. When you're ready, bend the left knee, opening up even more the left side of the body. Breathe into the upper left lung. Big inhale. And now come to center. Let's lower our arm. Inhale, both arms up and overhead. Palms are in towards each other as if we're holding on to a bowling ball above the head. So imagine you're holding on to maybe like a 10-pound bowling ball so that we're creating or recruiting a sense of dynamic energy, reaching towards the sky, holding on to some sort of weight while we begin to lift the heels. And you could even look up just a little bit, open the throat. 2 more inhales here. Big inhale around the heart. Exhale. One more big breath. And then exhale. Let's bring our hands down to the heart. Anjali Mudra. Stepping the left foot back, a short stride. Let's bend our right knee. From here, open up the arms behind you into a chest expansion of any kind. Inhale, lift the ribs, puff up the chest and the heart, maybe even look up towards the sky. When you're ready, look forward. Release the hands beside you. Open the palms. Let's shift forward, peeling up that back foot, and maybe lift the back leg for airplane pose. Sometimes this is also known as a warrior 3 with hands low. You are welcome to experiment with taking your right arm forward and then maybe the left, noticing what kind of sensations that creates in the body. It could make us feel a little wobbly. One more inhale. Exhale, let's lower that back foot. Bringing the arms overhead, warrior 1. Exhale, swan dive both hands onto the right thigh. Let's turn the left fingertips towards the right. Drop that left shoulder. Take your right hand onto your right hip. As you inhale, open to the right, creating a small twist. We can experiment by straightening the right leg, moving this into a twisting triangle pose. Now, wherever you are here, remember cow pose, the sensation of hips flipping back and chest lifting, looking forward a little bit. Maybe slide that left hand to the outside of your knee without pressing on the knee. Maybe slide that left hand to your shin, to your ankle, to a yoga block, or even onto a chair. If you had a chair close by, that would be nice. Holding for 2 more breaths. Inhale into the upper right lung. When you're ready, let's bring our hands onto that front thigh, supporting the spine. Let's bend our right knee. Reverse swan dive, mighty warrior 1. Virabhadrasana Eka, warrior 1 pose. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let's step forward. Flow the arms 3 times. Circle with the breath. Let's reset. Close the eyes. Become aware of the sensations in the soles of your feet. Those sensations move up through the legs to the knees. Be here now. Let's meet with our hands at the heart. Anjali Mudra, the seal of reverence. Let's step our right foot back, just a casual stride, bending the left knee. Taking our arms behind us, inhale, chest expansion. Lift the ribs, look up, bow out the chest. Big inhale. Let it go. 2 more big breaths. When you're ready, come to center, gaze forward. Hands might be on the hips. Let's bend that left knee. Remember cow pose here even. Hips back, lift the ribs. Peeling up that back foot is an option for your expression of an airplane or warrior 3. So let's look at ways to experiment. Maybe the left arm and the right arm come away. Maybe one arm forward or both arms forward. Give your body time to play in the pose. Move your arms around. Where is there a better sense of support? Where do you feel the most balance? There's no right or wrong place to be. Move towards comfort. One more big inhale. When you're ready, set that right foot back. Let's reach the arms overhead, traditional warrior one. On the next exhale, swan dive, both hands down onto the left thigh. Cow pose, hips back, chest lifted and forward. Drop your right shoulder, right fingertips face the left. Left hand onto the left hip. Inhale, twist. We can look down at the floor, maybe just past the heart. We could look over the left shoulder. Lots of twisting today. Big inhale. Push into the inside blades of the feet. Option to hold it here or check in for that triangle expression. Straightening the left leg a little bit. Sliding the right hand on the outside of the leg or on top of the shin. So that right hand can go pretty much anywhere on the left leg except the knee joint. This pose happens to put the joint in a little bit of a vulnerable place. So we're going to avoid any pressure on that joint. Slide the hand past the knee to that larger leg bone, the tibia, maybe to the ankle, maybe to a blocker, onto a chair if you have a chair close by. When you're ready, let's bring both hands to our thigh, gently bending that front knee. Inhale, arms overhead. Virabhadrasana Eka, warrior one. One more inhale. Exhale, step forward and lower the hands. Let's sweep the arms 3 times. Option to close the eyes. Feel the body from the ground up. Feel the movement initiate from the feet. As you inhale, initiate the arches of the feet. Pull up the knees. Feel the energy rise through the spine to the arms, up through the fingertips and crown of the head, and then exhale from the top down. Let's do one more like this, slowing down the inhale and the exhale, allowing all muscles to engage from the bottom up, and then relaxation from the top down. Let's shake it out. Shake it all out. If you'd like to grab a little sip of water at this time, go ahead and grab a sip of water. We're getting ready to move into our standing balancing pose. Let's grab a chair, a wall, or even a yoga block, some other means of support if you like. Our standing balancing pose today is part of dancer's pose, which can be done a lot of different ways. So traditionally, it's known as a quad stretch in traditional fitness. So what you would do is stand on one leg, lift your other leg behind you, and then hold on to the outside of your ankle. Now, if you know that this is uncomfortable for any reason at all, you're welcome to grab a yoga strap. Let's see. And it could be a belt, it could be a strap off an old duffel bag, it could be a scarf, just anything, durable enough to be able to hold up your leg, and something wide enough so it doesn't feel like it's going to cut off circulation, and something long enough so you can hold it. So what I like to do is take it around my thigh and then let it drop down. And I'm holding on with my palm of my hand in, knuckles out. And then from here, we can just lift the leg and hold on to that strap for this pose. So option to use a strap or hold on to your ankle. From here, we can bend our standing leg, shift forward. Remember cow pose. The most common misalignment here is rounding and hunching of the shoulders. So from here, we're just going to remember cow pose, where we push the hips back and lift the ribs to keep the body open. The more open we are in the pose, the safer it is for the spine. If you'd like to experiment with taking your arm up on the wall, you can, or even away from the wall. This is dancer's pose, Natarajasana. Natarajasana. Holding for just maybe 1 or 2 more breaths. The stretch goes diagonal across the body and also laterally. So you get just a nice dynamic open energy stimulated. 1 more inhale. When you're ready, slowly come down. Shake it off. When you're ready, let's switch sides. So we can hold on to the outside leg as we switch sides, and then maybe open up and slide your hand along the wall. Another option is to use the strap. I put it around my thigh, hold it, and then let it drape down to the shin or the ankle. Inhale, cow pose, open, open, open. I get to cheat a little bit in the pose, y'all. If it looks like my balance is incredible, it's because I have a wall behind me on my foot and a wall for my hand. So this gives the illusion of really perfect balance. 1 more inhale. Exhale. When you're ready, slowly come out. Let's shake it off again. Shake it all off. Okay. When you're ready, go ahead and come down onto the floor. Let's do a little bit of seated work before we go into meditation. So come into seated butterfly pose, and sometimes it feels a lot better to elevate the hips when we sit on the floor. It's a personal preference of mine. I've had low back issues in the past. I know some of you in the group have also had like some sciatica and low back discomfort. So sit on a pillow and notice if that helps it to be a little more comfortable. It may not be perfect. We're just looking for better. So let's touch our feet together. Measure the length of your feet and see that there is that much space from your pelvis to your feet. So we don't want to pull the feet in too close. That hurts the knees sometimes. Let's bring our hands onto the legs, sitting up nice and tall to begin. And then exhale, come forward, lead with your heart. Eventually allow the upper back to round a little bit and drop your head. So we're allowing for what I consider to be more of a passive or very conservative rounding in the back. Notice if you're forcing it. So if you're forcing it, come out of the pose. It's meant to be a very soft rounding in the upper back. Think about breathing down into your kidneys, to your middle back, behind the heart. Maybe a couple more long exhales here. When you're ready, walk the hands in. Slowly lift the head. Let's stack the spine. Extend your left leg out straight in front of you. Let's bend the right knee up. We can hold it here, or cross the right leg over. Let's take our left hand and wrap it around that right leg in any way. When you're ready, right arm up, big breath in, and then exhale, sweep it back. Place that hand maybe really close to the hip and prop up the spine, or take that hand a little bit behind you and lean back into it if that's more comfortable. Let's turn and look over the right shoulder. Option to lower the chin and close the eyes. Breathing mostly into the upper right lung. When you're ready, bring it around to center. Let's slowly uncross the legs. Right leg straight, left leg bent. Find your foundation for the twist, option to cross over. Right hand to the shin or wrap it around. Let's take the left hand up. Big breath in, reach, and then sweep it back. The hand might be right by your hip. It might be touching your body. And you can straighten that left arm to prop up the spine, or take that left hand behind you and lean back into it a little bit. Let's look over the left shoulder. Breathe into your left lung. One more big breath. Exhale, come around through neutral. Let's stretch out our legs and shake out the knees. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, soft forward fold. Hands down onto the thighs. Maybe walk them to your shins or towards the feet a little more. Softening through the upper back. Let's hang the head loose. Shake the head, yes. And turn it left and right. When you're ready, slowly come up. Let's take a moment and look around. Maybe grab your pillows and blankets as we prepare for final relaxation. You can always bend the knees, maybe roll to one side, and then roll down and lie on your back. If you have extra pillows or blankets, I recommend putting pillows underneath your knees. Maybe a big pillow that goes from the tops of the shoulders to the neck and to the head. Hands can be to the side with palms up or down. Hands can go on the belly. And as I mentioned before, you might want to put something under the elbows like a blanket or sometimes even a yoga block under the elbows. Creates more comfort in the pose. So a little yoga block lift under the elbow helps to prevent overstretching your chest and shoulder muscles. Get comfortable. Take a minute and get comfortable. Are your feet cold? Notice, are your feet cold? Your shoulders, your hands? Cover up. It is natural during relaxation for us to catch a little bit of a chill as we begin to relax, or we're not moving around, we're not as warm. So have your blanket nearby. Allow any fidgety energy to move from your body at any time. You can always experiment if you notice that your body wants to move or wants to fidget. Maybe you try not moving and notice where does that energy go. So you can create a little experiment and just watch that energy. Notice if there's any agitation or any irritation. What is that energy saying? So if there's an energy in your body that you do not act on, where does it go? What does it do? What color is it? Does it have a sound? Does it have a shape? Sometimes this can tell us a lot about emotions that are hiding in the body. Usually, fidgety energy is going to be a type of dis-ease. So usually it is a fear, a guilt, a mistrust, anger, just some sort of discomfort. It's usually a current of energy that's trying to make itself known. It wants to come up and move out. Breathe that out. Exhale from the throat. Whether you feel a fidgety energy or not, practice those big exhales from the throat like a sigh. Let's try 3 of them. Inhale and then sigh. One more big sigh. Notice how you feel after that sigh. And let's allow our bodies to just be. Start to count your breath so that the inhale takes the same amount of time as the exhale. And you may want to count this in your mind, counting to 3 or 4. We'll begin with some big inhales and they'll get smaller. Inhaling 1, 2, 3. Exhaling 3, 2, 1. Now maybe we keep the same count, keep the same amount of time, but increase the effort so that you're pulling a little more air in and you're pushing a little more air out in the same amount of time. So it's the same 3 count, and this time we flare out the nostrils, pull the air in, and then exhale, push the air out. Let's try that 2 or 3 more times. Exaggerate the inhale, and then push it out. When you're ready, just breathe easy. In fact, as the body becomes more at ease and feels calmer, You may notice that your breath is only 2 counts. The breath begins a little shallow, not as deep, with less effort. The breath may be soft in the chest and almost completely still in the belly as you relax. There is a saying that we have in yoga: stillness speaks. Stillness speaks. So let's take maybe the next 3 minutes to embrace stillness. And again, if you notice an urge to move, maybe stay still and notice what that energy is saying. Soft, shallow breathing through the body, stillness in the belly. Let's observe this for about 3 minutes. For the next few inhales, on every breath in, breathe in the sound so. On the exhale, hear from the mind the sound hum. The sound is made in the mind space, so there's no speaking, there's no activation of the throat or voice. This is done internally. This is an internal awareness Inhaling so, exhaling hum. Deepen your breath with the chant. Inhale so, exhale hum. Exaggerate the inhale. These are sounds. This is a chant that resonates through the heart. From here, you can bring your hand onto your chest in closing, feeling for the energy in the heart space. And from here, we can close together. Namaste, everyone. Have a beautiful week. I'll see you at our next Yoga for Everybody class next week. Have a great day.